So I've got to ask, where did this idea kind of stem from? Where was this something you read about, or kind of where did this idea? Because it's pretty out there.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, it started from a story that one of my best friends told me about his real life father, and his dad was killed in police custody. His dad, who happened to be a black man, was killed when Joe was a kid, and we had this idea of what if he had made a baby with a white woman before he died, and then that baby, instead of coming out more like him, came out as someone who could pass for white. So, without giving too much away, that's one of the possible explanations for the new baby in the film. But that used to be much more a part of the script. And my character, who's a lawyer, we thought, what would he do to investigate or find out more about that once he learned of it? We said, well, he'd probably order the police report for $5. So we did. And I got everything, the names of the people that picked up my friend's dad, and I actually spoke with one of them about what had happened, and he remembered it, and I was able to pass that information on to Joe, and that was a whole journey in and of itself. But it became much more about this story of a couple and their best friend, who also happens to be black. And then I learned that it actually is a thing that can happen, because people started sending me stories of, these twins, and one's completely white and one's black, but oh my God, they're twins. And, these genetic rarities that are a possibility, just very, very rare. And the really interesting social implications of that, and just for the immediate family.
What made you want to step behind the camera as an actor? Was it something from the very beginning the idea was, or did
No, it was kind of by necessity. And I really hired great people that I trusted, and the movie evolved so much in post that I really kind of became the director because of the suggestion of other people working on the film. But I just had great people around me, and I think it was just a specificity of vision and knowing what I wanted and what really the heart of the story was for me, because I wrote it and it was a really personal thing with a great friend of mine I had come so far and worked on it for so long that it ended up just being the thing that made sense.
I was really amazed at the cinematography in it. Can you talk about the particular cinematography you guys have on this film, and your connections to him? I think you were in The Roommate. Was one of the films.
That's funny. Yeah, I was.
And then, we recognize him from like Grindhouse and kind of his older stuff.
Phil Parmet is incredible.
Yeah.
Man, I thought he hated me when he first showed up to set, but he's just super focused on what he's doing, and he's done so much in his long career. And Tony O'Brien, who is credited as the first AD, we really have him to thank for bringing Phil on. So for me, it was a real luxury to just be able to trust their experience and eye and creativity, really. And just they added a ton of production value, and were able to get really creative because we needed to be. We had to shoot very quickly and make a lot of adjustments on the fly, and it was a privilege to be able to work with Phil and be able to trust him.
Work around Phil.
yeah, for sure.
So then I've got to ask, in the edit, when did you know you had this film as kind of cohesive? Like,
I knew like 5 or 6 different times. Like, we got it. It's done, finally. And then you start to hone it a little bit more, and you say, no, that's not quite working the way it could be. And, everything's great except this one sequence, and we have to make sure this sequence is up to the level of the rest of it, the bar that we've set for ourselves. And Mark Sayre, who edited the film, also his creativity and perseverance and patience with me led to what we have today. I mean, it was a whole different kind of creative journey, the editing, which was new to me. So yeah, many times we thought we finished, and I'm glad that we didn't settle.
Does this project make you want to step behind the camera again, or?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm more of a writer and actor. I'm an actor who wrote a script and then had producers like it and say, we want to do it. And then I said, great, tell me when to be there. And I had to learn about that whole process of getting something made. And for me, I think writing and acting primarily are where I want to focus. But just thinking of my next one, it's a story that would have to be done. It would be very important to me that it's done by a female director. So in the immediate future, I don't see myself doing that. But for me, directing, I come from a theater background. So my strengths, if I have any as a director, are really with story and then just working with actors, because that's my mentality. So that's the part I love.
What made you want to bring this to Tallgrass?
Oh my God. I just had discovered this festival and doing my own independent research on cool festivals to apply to. I think I found it on some list of the ones that are worth it to apply. And we've done it now. We've just had a couple screenings, really, just very recently. It's very, very new. We screened in LA, and then a few weeks ago, basically in the New York area. So we're kind of splitting the difference. Like, we're right in the middle now, and it seems kind of perfect. So I'm really excited to see how it's received here, because it's always fascinating getting people's different takes on it.
I've got to ask, where does the film go from here? How can we follow the film? Because, like you said, I mean, it's very brand new.
Right.
I couldn't find too much out there on it even yet.
No.
So,
no.
Where can we follow you guys?
Well, Doubting Thomas Movie on Instagram. I think it's the same thing on Twitter and Facebook pages. And then doubtingthomasmovie.com. That has everything.
And then I've got to ask, the story seemed so wild when I watched it. I was like, whoa, this is kind of out there. Knowing that it's someone that you're so close to, has Joe been able to see it? And
that's a great question. That's a great question. He's with me in spirit on all of these, and he's so excited. And he has extreme FOMO, fear of missing out, with everything that's happening. But according to him, he's the pride and joy he has that it's happening is more than that. So he just is thrilled about it. And he's definitely been able to see it and share it with a few folks. He lives in Australia now.
Wow.
He since we started working on it, he has moved to Australia and had 3 kids. So
that's wild. Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah. And we worked on it for such a long time. We worked on it in LA initially, and then I spent some time with Joe in Africa and Malawi. Wow. And that's when we decided that I was going to play Tom, because really we had this story, and we mostly just wanted to get it made. But then it became kind of obvious, we have to see it through on our own terms, and that's what we were going to do.
Well, I definitely enjoyed it. It was something I had no idea going into what it was about.
Oh, good.
And it shocked me.
So you were surprised?
Yeah.
You didn't know any log line or anything?
Oh, that's
went
cool. Went into it blind, and no, it was interesting.
Good.
Interesting movie.
Good, thanks.
Well, thanks for bringing it to Tallgrass.
Oh, my pleasure.
I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I think it's something that could pick up. So.
Yes, thank you so much.